Welcome to the Frederiksted Pier. In my opinion, one of the best dive sites in St. Croix. So come along and let me show you what you'll see underwater. So this is the entrance to dive the Frederiksted Pier. Just across the street is Cane Bay Dive Shop. There's another dive shop I can't remember the name of. There's Polly's, which you should really eat at. It's delicious, great wraps. And then way down there, there's this Asian fusion restaurant that looked good, but we haven't been there yet. So, you park anywhere along the street that you can. And then these are the stairs that you go down. You'll be tempted to go down to those stairs there because they're much bigger stairs, but the entrance is more rocky. It's harder to get in. There's a bigger ledge and there's a lot of sea urchins. So you enter on these stairs and you'll see a nice little path that easily takes you down. It's easy to get in. When you first descend, don't be put off by all the junk. That's leftover debris from hurricanes. There's some fishing gear, but you'll find a lot of life in and out of those rocks. Keep your eyes open because before you get too far out, close to the surface, you'll see a family of squid. We saw them there almost every single dive. As I noted before, you can also giant stride off the north side of the pier where the dive boats moor, right next to these beautiful murals. When all the boats have gone for the day, exploring the walls along the north side can be very rewarding. You'll find a lot of juveniles like this little bitty lobster. Another way to dive the pier is to surface kick out all the way to what's called the Three Amigos, and then descend and make your way back to shore. Make sure you thoroughly inspect each piling, because you just never know when some little frogfish, like this yellow guy, is trying to disguise himself like a sponge. Can you see the octopus? I didn't either until John pointed him out. He did his best to hide, but eventually got tired of my lights and decided to move on. A good technique for getting great fish video or photos is to sneak up on them, which is very difficult to do. But sometimes if they're too focused on feeding, you can get closer than normal. This little juvenile French angelfish either didn't care that I was there or didn't realize that I was there and let me get some good shots. This little cowfish didn't want any part of me, so we played ring around the piling for a bit. In the underwater world, the equivalent to squirrel is angelfish. Queen angelfish are very skittish, so when you can get a shot, you take it. This is a trumpet fish. They often camouflage themselves by hanging vertically in the water next to an object or some type of coral. This smooth trunk fish is just having a little sponge snack. Here we've got a school of French grunts, Caesar grunts, and the odd squirrel fish. Oh, angel! This is John with a squid lined up in his lens. I'm not sure you can see it. And these are those same squid. A few days later, in the sandy, rubbly area on the north side of the pier, this one let me get uncharacteristically close. This is an adult spotted drumfish. I've put a photo of the juvenile in the corner. Wait, where'd he go? Maybe he's back up top. Nope, disappears into thin air. That's how it goes. These guys are called hi-hats. They are part of the drum family. And these guys actually wanted their photo taken. Looks like they're posing for the camera. This is an arrow crab. You'll find moray eels in many sizes and colors, and they look a little menacing the way they move their mouth, but they're just breathing. This little cutie is about an inch long and swimming like a madman. He is a juvenile French angel. Here a couple of banded coral shrimp are just hanging out on the rocks. There's a pair of eyes sticking up from that rock. It's a peacock flounder. This female porcupine fish wanted nothing to do with that male. This is a banded jawfish. They excavate their homes in the sand. They line the opening with shells. And the males incubate their eggs in the mouth. You just saw him turn those eggs. This is my favorite little guy in the ocean. It's a blenny. I think it's a rough-headed blenny, but don't quote me. They're very hard to tell apart. They live in little holes. They're about the size of a pencil. They have the cutest little eyes you've ever seen, moving independently. And they're not afraid. They'll come out and watch divers. They're so precious. Here I have finally found a spot where I can set the camera without damaging anything and leave. I believe this is a sail fin blenny, but it's hard to tell until he comes out. And just like it sounds, he has a big fin that looks like a sail. He's a little cautious of my camera, and he's so cute popping his head out there. I'm really excited to get this video. You can see those cirri above his eyes moving back and forth in the current. I do wish it was centered better, but it's hard to find a spot to set the camera without doing damage and to get these little guys. This next part will be a few things you'll see inside of anemones, like this squat anemone shrimp. These guys range from 1/4 inch to about 3/4 of an inch. And so you can tell with the water movement, the anemone getting in the way of the lighting, and how teeny they are, it's so hard to get photos and videos of them. This is a spotted cleaner shrimp. My identification books tell me they range from 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch, but I know I've seen them from 1.5 inches to 2. This is a Peterson cleaner shrimp who is living in a corkscrew anemone. Look at this shrimp's abdomen. It's kind of a yellowish color. That's eggs. When it turns to the side, you'll see them really well. I did not realize it even had eggs until after I was home and reviewing the video. I'll end this video on a little turtle cuteness. To the south of the pier are 2 dolphins with a PH that the cruise ships used to tie up to. And there's an old anchor chain that's down there on the floor, and almost every time we were diving we saw the turtles using it to scratch their shells. This one's going to town. Thank you for watching. Please click the logo to subscribe and let me know if you have any questions about traveling, diving, or any of the critters we see underwater.